Hey there, my name is Shane and I'm going to show you how to make some cool costume pieces for next to no money. First up, the katana. Now, as far as these goes, the easiest thing to do is just fork out the money and buy some pre-made replicas, which you certainly could do. If you've got the money and you want to go for realism, maybe that's what you want to do. However, I'm assuming because you're watching, one, want to make one yourself, or two, you don't have a lot of money. This is your best option. And it doesn't look bad. Now, here's what you need: yardstick. The great thing about this is it's already measured, so you don't have to guess or even measure yourself. You need the blade that's going to be 24 inches, handle included. You lop it off at 24, you start work on it. Or you need to make sure that the handle is 10 inches, you measure it off, you know where that's at, you figure out the rest of the blade, it's all good, it's measured for you. This one, I got at Home Depot, you can get them anywhere. This is a nice cheap one, 68 cents at Home Depot. I could have picked one up at Lowe's, I was near Home Depot at the time, so there's no preference really, in my opinion. I just happen to be near the one, not the other. What else do you need? Electrical tape. This would be the handle. The wrapping on the handle anyways. The nice thing with electrical tape is you can get them in a variety of colors now. I've seen blue, red, green, yellow, white, orange. You can really get any colors you want almost anymore. That's going to jack the price up more though. For my purposes, I stuck with traditional black, and the roll of electrical tape cost me 69 cents I think. So I went with the cheaper stuff because I don't need it to do anything but stay stuck to itself. For two of these, you will go through one full roll and part of another, and I really wrapped the hell out of these. So I didn't want the handles or the tape coming off. Depending on how much you've got, you probably slide by with less. I would figure at least one roll though, at least one. If you're only making one katana, one roll should more than be enough. And you have extra left over for the next thing you do. Also with the handle, this is part of a camping mat at Walmart, Kmart, just camping mat. It's foam. You can also use the foam that a lot of customers are using to make their Iron Man costumes, to make Mass Effects costumes. You use that too, and I have done that. I didn't with this one, but I have in the past done it. And it works out just the same way. It's foam, you're going to be taping over it anyways. You're going to be compressing the foam down to make the handle anyways, which is why it's got a nice grip to it. So that's what you need as far as materials go. What do you need for safety? Safety glasses. You're going to be kicking up sawdust when you sand the blade. You want to protect your eyes. Like I said, you're going to be doing a lot of sanding to get the yardstick into a surface that can be painted without showing numbers. You're also going to want this. Now if you can't afford it, or you don't already have one, basically you don't want to be breathing on the sawdust. So you want to do something, wrap a handkerchief around your nose, mouth, I don't know, just keep the sawdust out of your face. That's what you need for that. I would also suggest wearing clothes you don't mind getting dirty. Kicking up a lot of sawdust. I mean, it washes out, so don't worry about that. But the more stuff you make, the less likely you are to remember it, unless you make it a habit already. So, right off the bat, change it to something you're not going to mind getting dirty. Paint. There's a variety of brands out there. I personally have used Rust-Oleum, Krylon, and Plastic Coat. I got Plastic Coat brand name, a hobby store I think. So I paid a little bit more for it there. It had a setup time of like 45 minutes I think, where it was completely dried to the touch and you can handle it. Krylon, I believe, has a drying time of 15 minutes and you can handle it after an hour. And Rust-Oleum runs about on par too. A side note to all of that though, I've used all of those. My experience, Rust-Oleum is the weirdest one to work with, because I've had where even a week later, you could, after putting on a couple of coats, you could still press your thumb into it and leave an imprint. And sure, it was dry to the touch, but it wasn't solid. It could take weeks maybe to get solid, so keep that in mind. Krylon I've had no problem with. This one I used Krylon. And it being wood helped too, and this is really just one coat. I needed it quick, and I'll show you why. I used it in this video, which is part of a independent movie I'm making. So costume pieces can also be used like you would think, not just for Halloween or cosplaying or conventions or whatever, but you can also use it, and should use it, in movies. And here you see it in action. You can see it worked out perfectly. It helped too that she had complete working knowledge of how to use katana to begin with. So that, coupled with the fact that you don't see it still at any point, it's in motion, I think that really helps sell it. Now, like I said, that was this current one, just one coat of paint. If you use it as a costume piece where people are going to get to see it and touch it in it, I would suggest doing at least 2 or 3. And maybe even coating it with a plastic top coat. Kind of give it a metallic sheen. So let's jump into it. Another side note, you will want to find some place to do this at. A garage is preferable, outside's even better. If you live in an apartment, you're going to have to figure that out for yourself. Bathtub might not be a bad idea though. For the tip, find out how long you want it. So I'm going to leave it the full 36 inches long. Take a marker and mark. That's my tip.
Luke, I am your father.
Now you can see imperfections in this. That's from using the Dremel to sand it with. If you were using a flat sander, like a belt sander or any other kind of flat sander, you wouldn't have that problem. It'd be completely flat and smooth, but the same principle, so you get the idea at least. And that's first coat. We let it dry, and this part of the handle we really don't have to worry about. I'm going to go ahead and hit it anyways, to the point of being complete, but you certainly don't have to. I'm probably not going to bother showing the other coats. I will put them on, but once you put one coat on, you get the idea. You sand it with the high grit sandpaper, like 220. Give it a light sand down, hit it again, like 2 or 3 more times, and you're good.